Hey everybody, welcome to Monday. I will not here address the soccer/football controversy. It's, I think, one of the more unfortunate questions that's ever come to Learned League because of the nature of how the answers are going to be weird, have to be scored weird, things like that. No grudges. Ultimately, it's just one of those very weird things. Anyway. Let's head into match day 22. All right. Question 1. A series of works by young British artist Damien Hirst features animals including a tiger, shark, sheep, cows, and a unicorn. Ugh. What? Submerged in a tank of what fluid? Okay. I'm not sure. I doubt it's water. That's why I ask. Like, I don't know. Wouldn't you ask who submerged animals in water? Like, again, that's not a criticism so much as just trying to wrap my head around this. I think I've actually seen the shark. It's like in a glass case, but I have no idea what it's encased in. I'm not sure I have anything good to say, really. I don't remember if there's any color to what I'm seeing, to what I've seen. I don't remember if, yeah, I mean, I definitely have seen a shark in a glass case. And now that this question is mentioned, like, I feel like that's what it is, but I don't know what it's encased in or, whatever. I'm going to come back to that, see if anything strikes me. Haven't had to do that in a while. Anyway, 2. This photo demonstrates an example of one unit of what official measurement? Unofficial measurements use this term preceded by face, Sheldon, country, and kitchen, among others. Okay. Click here. And we have a pile of wood and a rubber tire. It's the stick and the tire that live in Strongbadia. Anyway, so I believe that a pile of wood is often ordered by the cord, a cord of wood. Those other qualifiers, this face cord, Sheldon cord, country cord, kitchen cord, don't really mean anything to me. But I'm pretty sure that you order a cord of wood. I don't have anything else to call a cord of wood, so, or to call a unit of wood. So, it's certainly not measured in liters. So I think that's what we're going to go with. 3. Name the gritty and complex superhero film noir from 2009 that involves a costumed crime-fighting team coming out of retirement to confront a global conspiracy during an alternate history version of the Cold War 1980s. Well, this is The Watchmen, a very great book, a somewhat less great movie. It's not, yeah, I mean, yeah, its reputation as a film isn't like terrible, but it's not quite what it, what may have been, given how great the graphic novel was. But yeah, this is The Watchmen. If you had made me tell you, I would have said it was actually a little earlier than 2009, but my years get all mixed up between about 2005 and 2011. So yeah, that's The Watchmen. Okay. The French revolutionary coup d'etat, known as the Thermidorian reaction, led directly to the execution of Maximilien Robespierre, and the following year, the ultimate disestablishment of a political body first set up by the National Convention in April 1793. What was the name of this political body and de facto executive government? Okay. This is one of the many different groups that come to power in the French Revolution, but I believe Robespierre especially was the chairman or some other word of the Committee of Public Safety, which did a lot of killing. The Committee of Public Safety might be the most ominous name in the history of the world for something. It just can't possibly be as good as it sounds. But yeah, I'm fairly sure that that's the Committee of Public Safety, because it's the executive government. There's other names for like the revolutionary groups that were in power, the factions or whatever, but I'm pretty sure this is right for the name of the political body set up by a 1793 convention, because that has a different name from like the whoever's, you know. Anyway, identify the artist in this clip. 18 seconds. 18 seconds. It's loud enough. Y'all can probably hear that through my headphones. All right. All right. That is I Can't Feel My Face. That was number one for a lot of the year, or, you know, several weeks. That's by a Canadian group called The Weekend. I listen to the radio a little bit, you know, just when I'm in the car on short trips or something. I'll put on the radio just to see what's out there. You know, partially for trivia purposes, I'll be completely honest. That song I like. There's a really famous version where Tom Cruise sings it on Lip Sync Battle with Jimmy Fallon. Very good. The main thing is, if you want to not miss a couple questions out of 100 in quizzing, it seems correct to at least keep up with the biggest songs, like maybe the top, you know, few or so each week. And especially if something is a multi-week number one, it just tends to get asked about. I think what happens is, you know, most people who write quizzes aren't necessarily like big current pop music fans of whatever's on the radio, but they will kind of supplement their wheelhouse, whatever that may be. Often seems to be 80s music, or, you know, just rock or indie rock, or, you know, things like that. But they'll supplement that by asking questions about kind of like big songs of recently. And I don't know what Shane digs music wise, but it's just such a common thing to have a fairly simple question about a current or big, you know, recent number one song that, yeah, if you want all the points, you got to keep up with the top 40 a little bit. Anyway, what ingredients shared by the standard recipes for a black velvet, Boilermaker, flaming Dr. Pepper, shandy, and snakebite? Okay. There are two things here that I'm sure what's in them. That is, a Boilermaker is beer and whiskey. Yeah, and you usually like to have a shot of whiskey and you drop it into the beer. So the other one I'm sure about is a shandy, which has beer, and the ones I see have lemonade. I think they can have other stuff too, but I think it's like beer and sweet stuff is usually a shandy. So I guess the ingredient in all those would be beer. It certainly makes sense to me that a black velvet could have beer. It could be some kind of, you know, really dark beer with something in it. Flaming Dr. Pepper, you know, sounds like it should have Bacardi 151 in it, but I don't really know. And then snakebite could easily be beer mixed with something. So, yeah, I'm going to go with beer there. I would have to go look through my opponent's like alcohol knowledge specifically to peg them on this question. One thing is that I think people who are guessing will probably not guess beer. Like, if they have no idea, I think they'll guess a spirit, just because that tends to be the answer to questions like this in most formats. Like, usually it's not just like, what's the common ingredient in all these? And it's just beer. So that's, you know, that makes this question a little more interesting. Okay. Lots of variability based on my opponent today, but we're going to go with an aggregated A-Rundle. Oh, yeah, we have to answer this. Ugh. Alcohol is what I'm saying. Like, maybe they're being preserved in alcohol. I don't know. That's what I'm going with. I'm going to put a 3 on that. I think that's hard to be sure. This is another young British artists question, isn't it? They come up a lot, not just on Learned League, but other places too. I think it's very, you know, I guess as modern artists go, like contemporary artists go, they're pretty much the most famous in the Anglophone world. So maybe that's why. Cord of Wood, I'm going to give a 1. I don't know, man. This is tough. All right. Well, I certainly think Watchmen was a pretty big movie. Zack Snyder, right? And yeah, I feel like a lot of people kind of know the general plot of that because of what it was about, because of the book too. Very, pretty famous book. So I'm going to do that. Committee of Public Safety is a little bit niche. It's definitely kind of a history fact, and it's a lot of words, and it's not something where people all have their details of French Revolution chronology sorted out. So that'll get a 2. Then I'm going to put a 2 on beer and a 1 on the weekend. The real question, I feel like Shandy might be the easiest of those, but every time I think I ask a Potent Potables question in the various trivia I do, or just talk to people about this kind of stuff, like people do less well on Potent Potables generally than you would expect. This defense is very, very hard against a non-specific opponent. More so today than usual, I think. Let's see how we did. Oh, okay. Damien Hirst is apparently keeping his shark and his unicorn, which I still don't get. Like, the unicorn is fake, so why is he submerging anyway? All right. Okay, so we're using formaldehyde. Not an alcohol. We have a cord of wood. We have the Watchman. We have the Committee of Public Safety. Good. That's probably the one I was least confident about. We have the Weekend, and we have beer. Good. So that's 5 out of 6. I feel totally okay missing formaldehyde there. I guess it is guessable. That's kind of cool. If it had used the word preserved instead of submerged, a lot more people would get it right. That doesn't necessarily mean it should. But I feel kind of good about having the 3 there and about missing it, I suppose. Anyway, yeah. Everybody, have a good day, and we're finished for today. Thanks.